Welcome back to the What's Your Motive podcast. Today, got another special guest, a young lady here who's an entrepreneur. She is a boy mom times 2, correct?
Yes.
Boy mom times 2. She has her own shop. She's had it since, I believe, October of 2021.
Yes.
But we're going to get into it today in regards to how long she's been doing what she's been doing. And I'm interested in learning about it as well. We know a little bit about each other, so I'm very, very interested into how deep into the conversation we get. Her name is Janea Brown. Welcome, Janea Brown, to the What's Your Motive podcast. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. And we call her Nay.
Yes, Nay.
So you're going to hear me calling your Nay, you know what I mean? So that's what we're going with. So how you feeling today?
I'm good.
Okay. What'd you do so far today, this Sunday?
So I actually woke up. I took the boys to the movies.
Okay.
We had Sunday fun day. Had to squeeze it in.
Yeah.
And then I came here. And
Okay.
then after this, got to go home and cook dinner. Because like you said, they been on me. They said, we been eating all this fast food. What you
Right.
gonna cook? I said, okay, let me go do this podcast. I'm going to come back and cook dinner.
No, for sure. What did y'all go see?
What is it? Kung Fu Panda 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda. That's a classic for the kids, huh?
Yeah, and it was 3D. It was nice. I ain't gonna, it was nice. They both liked it. They both was like, it was nice. I'm like, okay.
All right. So no basketball for BJ today, though?
No.
Okay.
No. He been getting off on Sunday since the previous leave ended. So he get a little break on the Sundays now.
Okay. Shout out BJ, because I know he won like 3 MVPs for that tournament recently.
Yeah,
been going up. It's great to see his progression, especially, when they started out at second grade together, or was it second or third grade? They was playing on the same team, him and Walt.
Him second?
Second.
No, third.
Third.
It was like second going into third
Second
that
going to
summer.
third.
Yep.
Yep. So it's great to just see him develop. So keep going. Big shout out to Big Shot BJ. Big Shot BJ. Shout out my mans. So for starters, Nay, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Nay?
So Nay, I was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay.
I grew up in a 2-parent household.
Okay.
I am the baby though. On my mama's side, I do have 3 older siblings, which is brothers.
Okay.
So I'm the only girl.
What?
And on my daddy's side, no exaggeration, but it's like, I'm gonna estimate y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. It's about 25 plus of us. I just stopped counting.
Y'all
literally.
deep.
Yeah, Dad was a Rolling Stone.
Okay.
So yeah, so just growing up, just being a baby and being around a lot of boys, I actually was a tomboy. Believe it or not, tomboy, boy clothes, braids, and yeah, rough out here. And pretty much, yeah. So that's where it all started at.
Okay. Were you big into sports?
Yes. I always actually played ball.
Okay.
So that's why, like, when BJ started playing ball, it was a smooth transition. Like, and a lot of people used to was surprised and still kind of do that. I'd be so understanding and be knowing how it is they used to the moms being like,
out of the loop.
Yeah, out of the loop, or ready to kick somebody butt about their babies, or when stuff don't go that way, they be really like but they like, I'm like, yeah, I used to hoop, so I know. I play AAU too. We used to travel within Wisconsin, so I pretty much had a good experience of it. So it'd be easy for me to teach BJ and just give him tips and things from what I did experience. But I was definitely a tomboy, into basketball real heavy. And
it is refreshing to have like a mom at these games that actually know what's going on. Yeah. Because like you said, usually you had a moms, because I remember my mom when we was younger, she'd be, that's a foul. I'd be like, Mom, that's not a foul. Or travel. I'd be like, girl, that is not a foul. That's not a travel. Like, can you just be quiet? I used to tell my mom to be quiet in the crowd. Yeah.
See, that's how BJ was. Thought I was gonna be at first, but my mama like that. So he like, man, tell Granny to. She like, no, that's my grandson. I'm like, all right, because my brothers play ball too. So my mama, she wasn't the ones that be like, oh, that's a foul. She be the ones trying to fight with her kids. Well, my big brother had a temper, so listen, at every game they was rumbling. She was right on that floor with him. Like, oh, this my son. I'm not lying. Like, what? My mom was down. Touching her baby. What? Oh yeah, man. She getting on that floor. They know that. Oh, that's the parent. That's that mama. They be fighting with her son.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Hey, but at the end of the day, I mean, shout out to moms that support their kids. You know what I mean? I get it. You know what I mean? You want moms to dial it back, but shout out moms for supporting them kids, especially the moms that show up to them games.
No, for real, because it ain't easy at all. It's not, especially when you busy and got your own task and putting it in there. So
right. What
they
school?
expect the dads. I mean, that's natural.
Especially when it comes to sports.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Okay, so like, let's think about that though. Like, you know, you've been around it for a while. Do you see more men at the games or women at the games? Growing up, I seen a lot of men, but I also seen a lot of women. Like, I don't know if it was balanced or not, but
when I was hooping, I'm not gonna lie to you, I seen a lot of men.
okay.
It was a lot of men.
Okay.
My mama did support me in middle school though, for sure. She was always there, but I feel like it was more men. But now today, it's a balance. I feel like it's both. Like you gonna see the women, you gonna see the men out there, and I just really think it's equal months now. But back then, I feel like it was more men than women.
Okay. And I assume. Well, I would say that's good for, you know, the kids to see. You know, especially when you got both parents there, right?
Yeah, because support is everything, and we probably gonna get into it, but like I be trying to be there a lot for BJ, and it's really my number one thing because I stopped hooping and stopped caring about hooping because I didn't have that support.
Gotcha.
So like when moms, you know, start working and work shift didn't work out. Really, when I got to high school, I used to be sad after a while. Like, man, everybody else, people here, like ain't nobody here for me. I promised to God. And one of my sister baby daddies, I never forget, his name Josh. When he had time, he would show up, and I promise you, and my teams knew who he was. Like your brother here, and I said, see, I used to be geek, like, all right, time to turn up. But other than that, you get sad. Like you see everybody else support, you be like, and it kind of make you stir away from it. Like, man, what's the point?
Look how you just reflected on that, and you know, as an adult now, to recognize like you still remember the person that was there to support you.
Yes.
And when we think about our kids, if they don't have that support, you know, it's only so far they can really go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it stick with you. And some people be like, oh, they don't remember, or it didn't matter. It matters, y'all. Like, cause like I said, out of everybody in high school, like, and promise you, he probably gonna smile when he see this. Like, I never forget. Like, out of everybody, I'm like, dang, like my sister, baby daddy Josh, like, bro showed up for real. So
that's big.
It mattered. That's why I try my best to be there and hands on, cause it matter, y'all. Like, and as long as they got that support, it's gonna keep them wanting to do and keep going.
Even when they get tough, you know.
Yeah.
You know, cause I think a lot of times the support it's just a simple fact that you there. So it's like they know somebody there just in case they need a backbone. Because how many times do you see like a kid shoot a shot, do something, they look into the crowd? Definitely. You know what I mean? It's either like reassurance, and sometimes, you know, it could be bad because sometimes you got the parent like, you know what I mean, yelling, but to remember that person was there. So you know what I mean? I think that's huge. So shout out Josh, man.
No, for real. Shout out to bro.
Shout out bro. So what schools did you attend?
Elementary, I went to Niskara.
Okay.
And then middle school and high school, I actually went to MSL, Milwaukee School of Languages, for both.
MSL. So what year did you graduate?
2011.
Dang, when did my nephew graduate? I feel bad. You might know my nephew. Yeah, I asked you that later though. So in high school and stuff, like, what was you into? I know you was into sports and stuff like that, but then you said you stopped kind of like in high school, right? So what did you kind of like get into? Was you in clubs or like, you know, school clubs in terms of that, or was it more so like I'm just going to school and I'm coming home?
I ain't gonna lie, well, it was pretty much that. Like in middle school, I was more like involved in the clubs and doing things, but once I got to high school, things transitioned and just went kind of for a turn. I was more into really like getting some money.
Gotcha.
I was really more like getting some money, and it was hooping too. And I did it because my mama was like, you need to stay hooping, woo woo. But like I said, with the support and how it used to go, that eventually kind of faded away. And once I got bit by a dog, I got bit by a dog, my mama boyfriend dog, and he tore my hand up. Like, he literally was going after my neck. It was a pit bull. His name was Snap. Yeah, unfortunately, name Snap. And my brother
how fitting.
He actually was a fighter dog.
Okay.
He was a fighter dog. So my brother had a dog in the house, like it's just a house dog. I never cared for the dog. I ain't mess with it. So I never forget, we in the kitchen. Mind you, I ain't touching no meat, no nothing. It's on the table by me, but he's going from the table that's by me across to the stove, putting the chicken in the flour and doing his thing. So we just sitting there talking, chopping it up. The dog right here in the middle. He walk up and he just looking. Man, that dog ain't even touch him. It went right after my neck. Like, and I tried to like grab him, but my hand caught his attention. So he had a lock so cold on my hand. I'm not even over exaggerating. Like, my brother literally use everything impossible in reach range that we could think of to like knock the snap that he had on me. It was so cold, y'all. Like, this man picked up pots, pans, it was brooms. He even picked up a weight pole. He ran in the basement because he still was just shaking me, y'all.
What?
Like, my hand was shaking me, like, so cold. I'm just sitting there screaming. He get the weight pole, beating him. The dog would not shake it. Like, and he literally went in the basement, y'all, grabbed the air conditioner. It was on the ground, picked it up and dropped that mud, like, boom. That mud finally was like, arr, and just snapped out of it. Like, it was real bad.
How old were you?
It was my sophomore year of high school. So what is that, like 15, 16 up in there? Yep. Like 15, 16, yup. And after that, I really it was over from that. Like,
that traumatized you?
Yeah, it did. Because my arm actually, no exaggeration, actually got infected. I was 16. Yup, I was 16. It actually got infected real bad. My sister drove me to St. Joseph, and I told her, like, I don't mess with St. Joseph. Like, don't take me to St. Joseph. But she was like, it's blood everywhere. Like, I was bleeding so bad. She like, sis, you got to go somewhere. And they stitched me up halfway. All this was out in my hand. So they stitched me up. It was gaps in it. But I'm like, I ain't the dumbest, but I ain't the smartest. I ain't the smartest, but I ain't the dumbest either. So I'm like, if you going to stitch me, either you going to close it up or you going to just leave it open.
Right.
They're like, no, this how it's supposed to look. I ain't going to lie. Like, within 2 weeks, my hand was so infected. It was so swole. It was stuck like this. I couldn't bend. I couldn't do nothing. It was all the way literally down here. So my mama took me to children. My dad like, man, you got to take her. Like, she ain't looking good.
Right.
Y'all, I went in that hospital. Man, they rushed me to the back. And there was so many people just coming. We ain't even in no room yet. Man, I never forgive this black lady. She risked her job, and she was a medical assistant. She came in there. She like, y'all, I can't tell y'all this, but please don't say I told y'all I'm risking my job, but I know she's so young, but they trying to amputate your daughter's arm.
What?
I was like, what? Like, she like, yeah, is that bad? She like, you got any lawyers? You better get on the phone. You better call some doctors, pediatricians. Like, you better call some people because that's what they trying to do. Some doctors came in the room to my mom, was like, hold on, we finna call the pediatrician. We finna figure something out. Like, and it was like, well, it's at high risk. Like, it's spreading so fast, and how, quick it's spreading. Like, we trying to save before it go to other parts of her body. So my mama called the pediatrician, and I don't know what they did, but they was like, well, we gonna take a risk, and they had them sign some papers. Like, if something happened, it's out of control. But they're like, we're gonna try the IVs to reduce the infection before y'all just cut her arm off. And really, after that, I was cool. I'm like, man, I'm done. I'm cool. But no, I still got my arm, y'all.
You're right. Hey, shout out that doctor, what'd you say, the medical assistant? Yes, the medical
assistant. She was a black lady, and I'll never forget that. Like, man, she saved my life, because, if she wouldn't told my mama that, like, they come in the room, your parents, you just go with the doctors, you just put the trust in doctors' hands. Right. Like, no, she was like, no, don't let them do that. Dang. She was like, it's try to find other ways. She was like, because that's what they own. And they came in on that, like, so many doctors coming from different wings. I'm like, what? I was like, Mom, I'm finna die.
At 16? I know you were scared.
Yeah, like, so I'm like, okay, I know it's infected, I know, but it's like, y'all, and that's why I'm like, my mom like, dang, y'all gonna jump the gun and go straight to that? You ain't even gonna try to redo?
We just taking off her arm, part of her arm.
And I ain't know if it had something to do with, like, us being, African American, right. But like, when you not educated, like, they gonna do what they.
But you went to St. Joseph first?
Yup, and that's who messed me up. That's where the infection came from.
But you said you didn't want to go.
I told sis, but she like, sis, it's nighttime. I can't see. We gotta get you. There's blood everywhere. I'm like, all right. And I'm
not laughing, but that's crazy. I can't see. It's crazy.
I said, sis, I'm gonna die. Like, bro, they finna mess me up, sis. Don't see me there. She like, Nay, we gotta go somewhere. I'm like, all right, sis, man,
I can't see. It's crazy. She said, I can't see.
Then she blind. She can't drive. And she gonna get me when she see this too. Yes. Oh, man. My gosh, she could I see. She risked her life for me. I love sis. Tamika,
shout out sis. Man, hey, glad that it all worked out and you got your hand, but boy, that is, hindsight is funny though. Yeah. I'm not laughing at you, but I'm just saying, like, that's crazy.
From the middle, everybody knows St. Joseph. Listen,
St. Joseph got a bad rap.
I'm gonna take.
I was in a barbershop and this one man said all St. Joseph's everywhere is horrible.
See, I'm telling you better
even
take
in
that
different
risk.
States.
Really? Oh, see, yeah, that's bad. I know the bill for sure. You better take that risk to Freighter, Columbia. Yeah. If I end up passing on the way, I'm gonna take that risk because I would never. What? Don't never take me there. Never.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that was a lot. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that is crazy. You never know what somebody go through. G.
No, you never know.
Dang. So wait, okay. So when did you get into hair braiding then?
So I was a tomboy growing up in sports.
Okay.
I had older sisters. So my big sisters, they always did their own hair, did their own thing.
Okay.
So when I was in middle school, my mom, I was wearing braids 6th grade year, real tomboyish, the clothes and everything.
Okay.
And I ain't gonna go into details, but an incident happened with me, and I came home like, yeah, ma, I think you can buy me some girly clothes. I think I'm gonna wear a wrap. So I went to sis and them like, and teach me how to start doing my wraps and stuff. So I started wearing my real hair, and then like transitioning into high school, I always did my own hair. And my best friend at the time, we just always did our hair. We did quick weaves, braiding, and all that. So I always knew how to do hair, but really, really putting into action ain't happening until I got out of high school.
Okay.
Yeah, got out of high school when I knew like I can make money from my own skill talent.
Right.
Like, yep. And that's when I actually did it. It wasn't even right after though. I was just doing it in spurts. Like I would do people hair that I knew, close friends, and over the years or whatever. And then I ain't gonna lie, what was it? When did COVID hit? 2020.
March of 2020.
So like 2019 is when I really told myself, like, I was tired of working for people, and I'm like, man, you gotta figure something out. So my mama always told me makeup. Like I do my own makeup, and everybody love it. They're like, when you do your makeup, it's so natural. But I'm like, I never was really into makeup. So like I used to do my little cousin them. You know how you just try
play
and
around.
Yeah, I'm like, this ain't nothing I can't see myself doing. Like, nah, it hurt my brain. Nah.
Right.
So I started taking the hair stuff serious, and I went to a couple shops, but it was more of a shop setting. Okay. So I didn't really care for it because I'm more of a self person. Like I'm a kind of loner. Yeah, pretty much a loner. Like I love people, but then I like to be by myself. Like so I don't like and I don't like all that just movement and with too much going on, because I be a little paranoid. I be on my P's and Q's. So it's like I gotta keep up with what's going on. So if I can't keep up, so I got uncomfortable and kind of just transitioned and went back to the house. So it was like the house shop, just going back and forth, or whatever. And then in 2021 that's when I really was like, man, I'm done with the jobs. Like I literally told them people, like, I'm done. I ain't coming back. They're like, wait, what? Like I'm like, I gotta pour all my energy to my own business. Gotcha. And I just knew, like, just working on the weekends doing hair and working during the week, like I never had time for my kids. So I'm you gotta take the risk. And it was just a risk I took, and it's been up ever since. I ain't gonna lie.
So you got tired of like just working for somebody else.
Yeah, like the the disrespect and working with corporations. You just really see like they don't care. Like I really had to see that firsthand. Like they don't care. Like me getting pregnant with my second child and just needing time off and just going through things, like these people do not care. Like winter time, I'll never forget. The head boss, he's all the way in Miami, remind you. We actually was shut down now, and it was a winter. It was like -12 wind chill, like -22. They really want us to go open up this eyeglass store, like, because I was a store I was a manager, not the store manager. I was a manager at the time, assistant manager, and then the store manager actually was off, but he didn't care. He wanted that store to be open, but we like the whole city shut down, like ain't nothing going on. When I tell y'all I risked my life, I got flat tires, stuck in the cold. I was so mad. I had another employee come pick me up. Then her car ended up cutting off on the way there because it was so cold. And at that moment, I just knew. I was like, yeah, you gonna have to figure something out, Nate. Like, because at the end of the day, you put all your hard-earned work, sweat, tears into these people, and they don't care about you. Like, so that's why I was just like, always from that moment, like, I got to figure something out. And yeah, I left that company, went to another company, and they praise the doctor so much, and they so disrespectful to us, and I'm like, yeah, I can't.
And that was it. Like you had enough. They always say like you end up, once you get fed up, like you know it. Like I'm done.
So some people like, well, you got kids. I said, yeah, baby, I'm a hustler too. I'm gonna figure it out. Like I'm gone. They thought I was playing. I'm like, I'm gone.
So like once you decided to quit, is that when you was like, I'm about to make this into my business, or you was like, I'm doing this on the side and then I'll turn to a business?
I said I'm gonna make it to my business, and it wasn't easy. I actually was doing it outside a room, my mom's house. She had a 2-bedroom, it was an extra room, and I started there. And I was doing Ubering. I was doing Uber and Lyft in between. So in between me making money with hair, I was doing that, and then I got tired of driving people around because I had a couple people that rubbed me the wrong way. So I'm like, nah, that ain't safe. And I'm like, you by yourself. So I'm like. I just prayed and just took a risk. Like I'm a real risk taker though. I take risks, and people be like, "You crazy?" I'm like, "You won't know till you do it. Like you can't lose. You can only win from it because either you gonna learn or you gonna gain something that's gonna benefit you. But regardless, it's still gonna benefit you. You know, whether it's knowledge or whether it's physical or financially. So that's at that point. I'm like, yeah. So I just did that and did outside my mom's house. It was like June. It was June when I quit the job and started at my mom's house, and then that same October is when I went and got a suite, and I've been there ever since.
And like you said, like the fact that you was like, hey, I gotta do it. Like you said, you can learn something from it, you know, and you know, not have to regret it or feel like, dang, I could have did this a little earlier, or I should have did that, and things like that, which makes sense. And then, like you said, you're a risk taker, and the saying goes, the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. So obviously, you took that risk, and you've been rewarded for it. And you went in with the right mindset, of course, your kids and stuff, but like, you know, for yourself too, you know, and just being motivated to do that. So, did you have any fears when you decided to do it?
Oh yeah, of course. Like, and it was a lot of fears. Like, I'm gonna be honest. When I was doing it, I always knew how to braid, do quick weave, sew-ins, everything. So when I first, like I said, was going like kind of in and out of shops in the beginning, before I really was like, this is what I want to do. I would kind of do like quick weaves and sew-ins and ponytails, and then I'd be like, I wasn't feeling it, like it wasn't giving. So then I started going to the braiding. I always knew how to braid, but that's when the stitch braiding actually came popular. And I self-taught myself. I'm not gonna lie, I self-taught myself, watching YouTube, and I just had some models, I ain't gonna lie, and I did it. And as time went on, I actually got better and better. And then like me braiding, it was just soothing. I don't know. My mom be like, it take hours to do it, but she like, but you cold. Like, and she said, she like, maybe you should stop the other stuff and just focus on just the braiding and see how that goes. Like, you know, you can always switch up or go back to that because you've been doing that all your life, like the weave and, you know, natural hair and stuff. And I'm like, okay, so she actually helped me, and I'm like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So I actually cut out all the other stuff and then just focus just on braiding, and that was it. That was my niche. Like, it's soothing. Like, it's hours in it, but it's really soothing.
But it's something you enjoy though, and that's crazy.
It.
That's another plus, the fact that you stepped on your own, but then you were doing, you know, stuff with other hair, but then you found your niche, and you're like, you know, I actually enjoy braiding, and then you do it, and you actually enjoy it. It's not like a tedious task where like, oh man, I don't even like this. I'm just doing it.
Yeah,
but. Maybe sometimes.
Listen,
let's be real.
Every occupation got its moment. So once I start, you know, enjoying it, you come across those hiccups, and you have to maneuver and figure it out. So like taking kids and taking certain clients, like I just thought, I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was gonna be sweet. Like, I'm just making money, and then as time go on, it started becoming draining. It was draining to the point to where I'm like, I don't want to do this no more. And my mom was like, what? You too cold. Like, that's crazy. Like, what's the issue? And I told her, I'm like, you know, I was doing younger kids, like the crying, y'all. Like, I'm very, very patient, but like the crying,
sitting still.
The sitting still don't bother me.
Okay.
It's the crying, like, and I was just tolerating, like I said, the first 2 years, well, first year when I started for sure, I was just like grinding. Like, I was literally working all times of the day, like from morning to nighttime. Like, I remember I started, no exaggeration, at like 9 in the morning, won't leave the shop till 11, maybe midnight, and this is on during the week. So whenever the money came, I took it. Like, and that's how I was just chasing money or whatever. I'm like, so that's what started draining me. And then too, like, what I was dealing with, the atmosphere was draining too. So that's why I had to really like put a stop to and pause. And I'm like, I gotta, you know, I'm like, I don't want to do this no more. I'm like, that's crazy to figure it out. So I was like, okay, I gotta self-reflect. I gotta figure out what's causing me to feel this way, and then I gotta start figuring out solutions. So that's what I had to do. And ever since I learned that, it ain't stopped. Like, in life, I'm like, dang, like, every peak, you gonna always find yourself going back to the drawing board. Right. You gonna self-reflect and figure it out. So I had to wing out like the younger kids because I was coming home, and my kids, I'm like, I don't want to hear nothing. Don't say nothing. Shh, be quiet. Right. And I'm like, that's bogus. Like, I can't do that to them. Right. So I just started eliminating things, and then dealing with certain customers, and some people is just hard to deal with, and you won't overdo nothing wrong. They just make your job harder. So learning to wing out all that, it got me back at peace to where like where I'm at today. Like, I'm happy. Like, I'm good. And I learned to say no. And that was the hardest part. because I got a heart. Like,
Got you.
I'm a super nice person.
You don't want to turn nobody away.
No. And I care about other people's feelings and all that. So I always try to make sure I treat people how I want to be treated. But like when you in business, I had to learn, like, it gets you nowhere but ran over. So that's the hard part, like learning how to set boundaries and say no. And yeah, it was like a sour patch for a minute until people start respecting you. Because once you stand firm and strong on what you stand, and you're not just like doing this sometime, letting these people do it, or sometimes you're doing this with this people, and everybody start talking like, oh, she don't play, like she about her business, or when you do this, you do that, you know, because everybody cahoots. The city small, and that's when people start giving you respect. And two, you start attracting those customers or clients that you want versus the ones that you don't want. And yeah, that wasn't easy at all. Like that's a lot of meditating, a lot of self-reflecting, and really just being around people who do got knowledge that can guide you through that. Because yeah, if not, a lot of people be lost. Like I come across a lot of like younger entrepreneurs, and they be coming to me, and they be asking me, they be dealing with that, and I had to tell them, like, you know, this your business, right? I'm like, you don't have to deal with nothing you don't want to deal with. And that's what a lot of people fail to realize, not just in business, in life. Like, you do not have to deal with nothing.
I don't gotta take that.
No. And people be feeling like, oh, because it's my sister, my mama. No, you don't
gotta take that.
So that no word and no boundaries is like very important.
But what you said was, you said a couple of things there that I was just listening. Like, I'm like, dang, like that's cool, because self-reflection, saying no. How many people can really say no? And then the fact that, okay, you might have had some mentors and people that you could look to and you know, ask some questions, but the fact that you passing it down to younger entrepreneurs is great. And you know, I enjoy hearing about, you know, things that have been passed down to the youth. But the fact that you had the self-awareness to be like, hold on, let me step back and look at this. I really don't feel like doing this, but you restructured yourself. You reset your boundaries. You set your, you know what I mean, what you want for your business. What I want it to look like, who I'm trying to attract, my audience. Even if I got to tell such and such, like, that's not what I'm doing. Yes. You know what I mean? So that's beautiful. And then to bring it back tenfold, and you share that information to the people that's coming up.
And another main thing too is what, like I said, because you be in it, so you don't know. And like I said, when you self-reflect and get that quiet time, I also too realize I was treating it as a hustle in the beginning.
Not a business.
Not a business. And when you treat it as a hustle, you get what you put out.
You think you burn out quicker too?
Yeah, but you burn out quicker, and you get that negative energy because it's just a hustle. So you lacking, you slacking, you doing X, Y, and Z, but you want them to be on time, you want them to pay your money, you want them to come all professional, but you ain't showing a professional. You ain't giving a professionalism. So
break that down. So tell me, what did you see yourself doing when you were hustling, and then now to be like, I got my business running. This is what a business look like versus a hustle.
Running myself dry.
Okay.
Running myself down.
This in the hustle mode.
Yeah, this in hustle mode. So I'm just, whenever somebody call for some money, like I'm going. Like I ain't think, I'm just money, working all day, burning myself out. So that leave my household barely got time for my kids, which, you know, at the time you ain't think about that. And then two, how I was presenting myself, I'm thinking I'm doing good because I'm like, oh, I'm the first one, you know, got a business, I'm doing this and that. But remind you, I'm be honest, I'm showing up late. I used to, and it wasn't bad, but I'll be honest, I didn't have times where I didn't ate. You know what I'm saying? Stop, eat. The conversations and stuff, you know, and just letting people just slide with stuff. So like you letting them do that, but then it's like, it could be a day where you ain't in the mood. So when they do it, now you mad. How you gonna be mad?
Because you didn't already let it happen.
Yep.
But look how self-aware you are. Hey, I'm gonna shout you out for that, because a lot of people can't do that.
No, they can't.
And break down themselves. So I think keep going. That's great.
Yep. So timing, and like I said, like just being late, and like you charging them money because they late, but then you late, and you fail to realize they got stuff to do. They got other appointments. They got a life too. So you got to be fair on that. Or whatever. So it's just like really kind of being ghetto. Like, you know, we call it just being ghetto. So once I realized that, I'm like, you know, this ain't what I want. Like, I got to do better. I'm like, I can't be, you know, expecting this out of them, but I'm slacking on my end. So when I start getting myself together, like coming in early, prepping, giving myself come in 30 minutes early or an hour early prepping.
Got you.
Even with beading, like beads with the little girl's hair, that's very time consuming. So another thing too, making your next client wait. I was doing that too. I have an appointment at 2 and I'm still on the head before them. Like, you know, like they gonna feel some type of way. Like I can't expect them to not feel no type of way, but me being me, like, well, y'all need me. You want your hair done, and it's like you can't do that.
You gotta value everybody's time, right?
Yep. And that's why I said that's when you treat it as a hustle, because you don't care. You know what I'm saying? You're just like, well, you go find somebody else. Well, you know, and you know you good.
That's the attitude of a hustler, right?
They ain't gonna go nowhere. Yep. I'm telling you. So when
that's real though.
Had to do a self check, I'm like, that ain't cool. That ain't right. You know, I'm like, when I go get my hair done, I'm like sitting around for my appointment at 2. Get about 15, 30 minutes. I want to be in that chair. I'm trying to get up out of there. So I had to reconstruct myself. Like, no, you gotta treat this as a business. So when you treat it as a business and professionalism, you gonna get that back in return. And when I started doing that, the respect, the loyalty, even the peace, is really the peace. Like, it started coming. I'm like, dang. So when I started getting a taste of it, I'm like, God, oh, that's all I had. Okay, cool. Let me get my stuff together. I'm like, because this is what I want. I don't want all this over here. I'm like, I want this over here. So,
which is more of a rhythm.
Yes.
You got a rhythm.
A rhythm is a flow, is peace. And, you know, you got control of it. Like, when you just hustling, you ain't got control of stuff. Like, it's all type of stuff going on.
Super sporadic.
Yeah, you don't know how your day gonna be. You in a good mood. And your customers, clients mad. But how can they not be? They sitting here waiting 30 minutes to an hour and et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? And they want money back. Now you arguing with them. So it's just like, it's chaotic. So I'm like, nah.
But you didn't turn over a new leaf and you did your thing. Because and then, like, most of your clientele, is that through, has that been through word of mouth? Has it been through, like, marketing? You know what I mean? Like, advertising, like, I do it. You know what I mean? Or
I'm not going to lie. It's been, in the beginning, it was more of marketing.
Okay.
And then the referrals, word of mouth. But lately, it's been a lot of referrals. It's been word of mouth. Because was slacking a little bit. I kind of took a step away from social media. And I recently got back on in the last couple months. Because I seen things were slowing down, but now it's more referrals and like family, and I love that. Like, it's family, and like, so a lot of clientele don't even come my way, and I'm okay with that. So I get more like calm, chill, and that's pretty much what I want.
Understanding people. Yeah. And then and I know you got them a book.
Yep, they book. So that's another thing. That's another thing. That's what I said, when it was just a hustle, I'm texting through the phone and I ain't had no booking site, no none of that. So it's like, that's why I said, all day I'm just chasing money. So even on my off days, I'm with my shorties, but I'm in my phone, so I can't even focus on, we out enjoying, whether it's at the movies, we at bowling, we at outside, you know, they playing ball. They used to me engaging, because I will engage, but I'm always in my phone. And my kid says, I'm like, man, you always in your phone. Like, you ain't never
don't them kids pay attention? Them kids gonna put you on blast every time.
It be your kids, but it be your kids, the good and the bad. You be like,
it be your own kid.
But it's, you know, it's good, because they should, because like, you will see yourself, you know, slipping away, and they'll pull you back to reality. And that's why I was like, nah. I'm like, that's why I was like, I gotta change this. And that's where I'm like, okay, get a booking site, you know, just straight time schedule. This is when I'm gonna start. This is when I'm gonna end. Anything after, it's a no. I gotta say no. So if, you know, y'all can't find a way to fit my schedule, then, you know, it is what it is.
And reschedule or do something else.
And just making time, you know, for kids and stuff. Like, cause like I said, when you chasing that money, it's just, man, like, you.
That's funny how them kids hold that mirror up to you.
Yeah.
Hold that mirror up to you. Like, look at you. You over here in your phone.
Because, like, when we be telling them stuff like, you need to, they be like, well, you be. I can't even be mad. Like, man, you being disrespectful, but it's like.
You right. You low-key right.
Yeah.
You low-key right. I'm going to let you have that one.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? I'm going to get it together. So, who helped you along the way? Who can you say, like, kind of, like, helped you a little bit along the way in terms of, even if it was just encouragement?
It was a big.
I know you said your mom.
My mom, she a major person. Like, that's literally my best friend.
Okay.
Like, my mom,
shout
definitely, is a major person. My little cousin, Rashayla, because she always like, I ain't let nobody do my makeup, I ain't nobody do my hair. So they always like kept me in the mode of doing it and kept the skill going. Like, even when it was rusty, they like, I don't care. I need you to. You finna do mine, because I ain't going to nobody else. So like, my little cousins, my mom, who else?
And don't feel
Like-
bad if she forget. I'm doing this on the spot. I don't want nobody to feel shaded.
Look, it's like friends and family,
Right.
and then my kids too. Like,
Okay.
like they love to see it. I ain't gonna lie. Like when I did transition, like they was just so geek. They was more geek than me. Like, damn, you working for yourself? Like you can do this. Like, and
Inspiring.
then too, yeah. And then too, being able to show up more for them, like, because
Right.
I make my own schedule, so that definitely was a plus.
So
Like,
weight off them shoulders too, right?
definitely.
That's good. So I know that I think I've seen it before. You do hair braiding classes or something sometimes.
Mhm.
Is it for kids or for adults? Or is it for all together or?
It's for both. It's
Okay.
for whoever.
Okay.
I have. So when I first did my first one, I had some people that didn't know how to braid. I had some people that knew how to braid that was just a little rusty, and then I had some that was kind of in between. So when I first did my first one, it was a trial and error.
Ain't nothing wrong
Trial
with
and
that.
error.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And I just learned from that, and I had to realize, like, everybody is different. Everybody is talented in their own way, and how you do things is not how everybody else do things.
You know who you sound like? You sound like an educator.
I do.
I'm sure if it's some teachers watching this, you understand what she's saying, right? Where you recognize that all these kids are at different levels, different points in terms of their academics, their social skills,
No, that's true.
and everything.
Yeah.
And then you gotta kind of like cater it towards like, okay, I'm gonna need them to start with this, them to start with this. The people that's a little bit more advanced, I can throw them off and be like, here, you can go off on your own.
And that's exactly what I had to do.
Yep.
So within that time frame, it was a split quick second. I had to observe, understand who I was dealing with. So I started off, I showed them, and then I let them do it themselves. And then I was just watching. I'm like, wow, I'm like, you braid? How was you gripping this hair? Oh my God. So like you said, over time, I definitely had to do that. I like meet them where they was at, and
Absolutely.
then but be patient too, and then love on them and let them know like you are doing good. I'm like, cause everybody gonna always have that self doubt and
Right.
too, and feeling like, oh, this ain't good enough. But
Right.
like you said, everybody at their own pace, different levels, and everybody do it different. But it's really just reminding them that you can do it. Like, and a lot of them did. Majority, like half my class, had a dream of doing hair and
Okay.
wanted to do it, and I really encourage them like do it. And it's one of my one that took the class. Her name Kayla. Kayla, she actually started doing hair. Like I'm like, dude, you cold, like you good, like you sleeping on yourself, like go ahead
Right.
and do it. I told you got to start from somewhere, because I did. Like, and like you said, it does matter having that support and the
Yes.
people in your ear to just give you those encouraging words when you are feeling down, like, or them dreams that's rusted but still in the back of your head, and you know, like, this is something I want to try.
Right.
Like having that person just pull it out and you just go for it, and you don't know what may happen. Your life will just turn around and turn up for the good, and you look back like, dang, I was sleeping on myself this whole time.
And then you look back and you see like, you know, look where I'm at now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good. I mean, I like the fact that you provide those classes, and like I said, hey, you an educator.
Yeah.
And that's funny that with hearing you say like,
And it's-
I realized that they was all at different. Like, yeah, welcome to the classroom.
It's crazy 'cause I ain't never think of that. I'm like, 'cause I had one of my clients in the beginning told me like, she like, you an artist. I was sitting there like, I'm an artist. She like, yeah. She like, braiding is art.
Mm.
And I'm like, dang, like, and I ain't gonna lie, that stuck with me. I'm like, man, she ain't never lied. It's really art. So what you saying, like, you an educator, I ain't never think of it like, I guess,
For real.
yeah, like, you know, if you teaching people stuff and you know,
Absolutely.
something like that, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. I mean, you know, an artist in your own craft in terms of, you know, doing hair, but then there's an art to teaching. So you even recognizing that, you know, that like, you know, you had different clientele that came into those classes, and you like, hold on, let me step back. This canvas look different from this canvas and this canvas. I'm gonna have to give them this one. I'm gonna have to give this person this paintbrush. You know what I mean? Just for, you know, analogy. But yeah, that's good. You an artist and educator all in one, and an entrepreneur on top of that. How that feel to know if, you know, that's you?
It feel good. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, it feel good.
And you're giving back.
Yeah, and that's one of my biggest things. Like, so that's where the heart come in at. Like, I be always trying to give back, and a lot of people make you pay for they call it the game and
Right.
just information. And I'm not gonna lie, like it's many a times, man, people come up to me, I just give it to them. Like, I'm gonna give you the whole blueprint, like literally. Like, I did a couple things in between with the hair. Like, I didn't sew hair before. I didn't start a little boutique,
Right.
had a website for that, and
Right.
I tried it. Like I said, in life, that's why I said you gotta take risks. You won't know what's fit for you, and what you think is for you, it may not be for you. Like, it gonna turn out you gonna find yourself living something totally different that you least expected. But that's why I do always encourage people, like, you gotta try. Don't just be stuck in one thing. Like, be open to numerous of things, because you never know what that niche gonna be, because what you think it is, sometimes it don't be that. But I give them it all. Like, I give them it all. I'm gonna give it all. Whatever I got, I'm gonna give it to them, man. I had another young lady was like, she like, you shouldn't do that. I'm like, why? She like, you just for free just. And I said honestly, I'm like, I had to figure it out on my own. I was just a trial and error, and I done bought stuff from people and bought what is that like wholesales and things like that from people, and it was trash, y'all. And I was salty, like, man, I wasted my money on this. Like, man, they could have just kept it 100. Like, it's okay, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I ain't finna charge nobody, because at the end of the day, like, what you put out in the universe, you're going to get back. So you put those blessings out and plant those seeds. And I got 2 kids, so I'll be like, listen, if they don't come back to me, hey, my kids gonna get blessed somewhere down the line. And that's why I really, press the issue, like you said, just giving back, because you gonna give back, but you gonna get it back in different ways when you least expect it.
But look at that mentality that some people have, and I'm putting you in a rare category, because usually people say the game is sold, not told. And that's why a lot of times people don't share stuff, because they want to hold it close to them, to be like, I need to get all this, I need to have all this. But you are willing to share it. And I'm over that same vein. Why wouldn't I give you this information for free? You know what I mean? Like, there's enough for us all out here, and we should be encouraging one another, but we work in these silos individually, where we like, I'm over here, I ain't sharing nothing over there. And then we got this. Yes, for what though? So reason. You in rare air, the fact that you do that. And I applaud you for that, because a lot of people won't do that.
No, they don't.
Especially when their business is thriving.
I had it hard. Like, nothing to me never came easy, and that's why I do too. Just give whatever I do have, because like I said, nothing ever came easy. I had to work for everything. It's just every job growing up in life, like, nothing ever came easy. And then for a long time, I used to be so angry in the inside. People never knew I used to be angry. Like, man, like, I see everybody else is just coming, like, they busting moves, they doing this. I'm like, man, when it's my turn, nothing come through. So I'm like, I gotta work hard, slave for every dollar. That's what, like, everything I got, I literally got from work, and nothing ever came to me free. Like, so I used to be mad about it, but then I'm like, I had to thank God, like, well, it made me stronger, it made me wiser. I'm like, your purpose and what you here for, you gotta have a testimony. You gotta have something to give back to these people. So if you had it all easy, you wouldn't be able to be a blessing or be able to have a testimony or encourage other people. I'm like, cause God need somebody out here. I'm like, cause everybody just ain't gonna have it easy. So when other people stuff, you better give them that word or that love to get them up and keep going. I'm like, so I started embracing it, and I really just stopped just being mad, and I started laughing about it, like, it's cool, cause I know, like, ain't nothing to come easy. I gotta work for it.
And it's just crazy, cause it's like you said, you had to go through it and you had to struggle. But sometimes we feel like, because we struggle going through it, I'm still going to let that other person struggle. Why would I do that? And I get it sometimes, where they be like, I did it and I had to go through this and I had to learn. Man, sometimes it ain't about teaching nobody no lesson. It's about giving them the valuable information they need so they can go ahead. Get them a head start sometimes.
That's the problem.
It's a balance, but I get it. But it's just like, why?
To me, it ain't fair. And I feel like it's not right, because, like you said, God gave it to you. It's for you to help somebody else, not for you to just be selfish with it. And then what people fail to realize, like, you keeping all this stuff in, you being so hard on people, but
you can't take none of it with you.
That part, can't take nothing. Now, when you leave, you can't take nothing with you. And 2, it get lonely at the top. So that's what you dish out. When you get to where you going, you can't complain, say you lonely, because now you got all this luxury goods and you got this luxury life, but you have to by yourself.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy. And I don't know, I still be trying to answer that question. That's just wild. And I know that, I'm switching gears, I know that you mentioned it a lot throughout this interview so far, but what is it like being a mom that's an entrepreneur, and then trying to balance that time out? Because I know, like, today you said you took them to the movies, y'all spent y'all time, and then you like, boom, let me come over and do this, and then I gotta go back and cook. Like, how do you go about trying to do that? Or are you just in the thick of it, where it's like, I'm just making it work?
In the midst of making it work, but 2, I am way more, like, adamant of
you intentional.
Intentional of spending time with my kids. Like I said, when I first started working and in Sweden stuff, like I was just hustling. I was just all about money, and I barely had time for them. I was always at work, long days, long nights, and I started seeing how it was affecting them. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'll pick my shorties up when I get out of work and go home, but it's late, y'all. We gotta get up at 5, 6 in the morning. So now they tired in school. So now I gotta hear the teachers like, oh, well, he sleep in school, he this, he that, and you know, like, I do take accountability, like, and don't blame it on my kids. It wasn't that. It's my fault. But after a while, it started looking real bad. So I'm like, man, I got us out here looking bad. Like, now you got to get it together. And the kids just don't want to go. And and I'm like, that's selfish too. So just me taking accountability of like, man, you can't do that. You know, you got to make a balance of it. And them missing out, on me. And then too, like, me missing out on them. Like, because the time you can't get back. You can't get back time. Like, and as time went on, y'all self-reflecting and just growing and becoming more wiser and mature. And just owning up to my mistakes, I realized I can make more money. I can't get that time back. So once that time gone, it's gone. Like, cause even me, sometimes I self-reflect, just back in my childhood at certain things or certain areas in my life, and it's done. Like, you could try to relive it, but it'll never be the same. So that's why I was like, nah, I can always make more money. I can get the money, like. But that time I can get back. So that's where I just really just like try to make a balance. As I said, a set schedule and have my off days, so I can make time for them.
That's where that no come in, right? Like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm with them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So my last question, and you know what it is. What's your motive? What's your reason for, you just becoming this entrepreneur, being this mom that's doing these things intentionally? Like, what's your motive? What's your reason behind it? I know you said that you want to teach people and things like that.
Yeah, to give back, teach people, and it's really my kids. Okay. Like, my kids, and to give them, everybody want to give their kids everything that they didn't have. Right. But to also show them that in life, you got to work for everything. Yeah. You do have to work for everything. And the way we grew up like, you had to go to college to be successful. You had to be this. You had to be a rapper. You got to be all these things. And, really college was one of the main things. And now I just be like, no, because today's world, kids don't go off what you say. They go off what they see. So I do just want to show them, like, you don't have to do X, Y, and Z that you see everybody else doing that's not good, that's going to bring in money. Like, you can literally do all these great things and still flourish, still be successful, and still live a good life. So it's really my kids that motivate me, and just people who just out there, like, when they do need help. And I know people that never had that, so that actually it makes my heart smile. Kind of put a light bulb on, be like, okay, you can get that love out, like, because I love showing love and giving love. So that's what motivates me, just making a change. And
just listening to you, everything is outward. It's not really for you. But at the end of the day, you do get something from it. You get that self-satisfaction. You get that intrinsic reward of, like, I'm doing this. Yeah, I'm doing this for me, but I'm more so doing it so I can influence not only my kids, but those people that need that encouragement, that need that help, that need that guidance, and, that mentorship.
Yeah.
That's big. And that's huge, especially when you get them young. You know what I mean? I'm always about them young kids. But even some adults, though. So like you said, some adults got those dreams that's in the back of the mind, like you said earlier. They rusty and dusty. Dust them off, bring them to the forefront, and why not give it a try? So another thing that I want to say before we get out of here is that I really admire that you self-reflect. Because I don't know many adults, and I don't mean to be mean, but I don't know a lot of adults that can really step back and self-reflect and take accountability for, like, some of the things they could have did better. Sometimes we try to excuse it and be like, well, I did that during that time because I was young, or I did that during that because I was trying to get this money. Yeah, but if you look back, like, was that right? You know what I mean?
I was once that person.
Right. So I like that that you say that, because you've been saying that a lot, man. And that's one of the things I really try to get kids to do too, is to try to self-reflect. Obviously, it's harder sometimes because when they're young, it's like their brain is everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. But I just want to thank you for coming by, especially it being, Women's History Month. So I want to shine, a light on you as a young woman, an entrepreneur, mom, and things like that. And let's not make this the last time. So, and you know, I got something coming up soon that I may need you to be a part of.
Cool.
That's another reason why I brought up your classes and things like that. But something else just to showcase what you're doing in the community. And I want other people to know. And they can find you where?
Facebook, Janea Brown.
Okay.
And then on Instagram, Styles by Nay.
Okay.
You can find me there. And like I said, classes, anything, hit me up.
Okay.
But most definitely, I definitely appreciate you bringing me on. And when you just said like more of the community, that's something I do want to strive to. Is just having those connections and people like.
And that's
to bring it out, or to like I just said, to have you go do it, because I definitely would love doing it. Like,
that's all I'm saying, just to showcase it. And that's another reason why the podcast is what it is. All I'm trying to do is bring people together and, you know, show them their talents and stuff, like the people that, you know, some people might overlook and things like that. And then we can just bring it together and look at this and look at what we're able to do and affect the community as opposed to doing it in a silo. So thanks for all those that are tuning in. Thank you again for coming.
You're welcome. Appreciate you.
Until next time, what's your motive?